lot better than I thought I'd be. I may not be able to talk fully perfectly, but I'm able to join.
Nice.
Thank you. Well, for a few months, my friend and I have been consistently talking to one of our friends to try and join the program. She's super shy, and the other day we finally got on a call with her, her mom, my friend, and Kelly, and she just told me yesterday that she's saying yes to join the program, and she can't wait to feel better. And it felt so amazing to be able to see how excited she is, because she gets very, very shy. My friend even had to like encourage her to come join the chat when we were actually doing it. So it felt really, really good.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Nice. Who else has got some stuff that they want to share? Anything that's going good? Any breakthroughs? I haven't seen you guys in like 2 weeks. Well, I've been talking to you, but go ahead.
I'll pop off.
Yeah, go for it.
Hey, Brad, it's Nicole. Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah. Gosh, breakthroughs. I guess the list is never ending. I have been, just staying consistent and following the lead of, my support team, and with having a full-time job and undergoing some immense stress for the last few weeks, having that rhythm and that routine, like those rocks in my schedule, allowed me to continue to stay consistent and keep working towards building like a 5-in-1 business. I'm focused. I'm definitely excited about the kind of legacy that we can build here. I even took you up on your challenge of, just looking at finances, and I've really been enjoying, just sharing with you and being very candid about where we're at and where we're headed, and letting you kind of just pour into our lives that way. So I definitely have a huge vision for what the next 6 months is going to look like, and I can't wait to continue to keep celebrating like all these milestones that we're hitting. So it's exciting. Like what I see everyone else creating, I think I've finally really internalized like, wait, I can have that too. No matter all the other crazy that's going on in my life. If you stay consistent and if you really just genuinely believe in what we have and who we are, it's going to take you so far.
I love it, Nicole. I love what you just shared there. Like you just embodied of what we help people with, your health, the life that's changed around, the consistency, how it's helping you thrive in your other career. And yes, I have really enjoyed diving in on the finance with you. Thanks for taking me up on that, because you have created a bigger vision for what's possible, and you have a vehicle that can help you do it. So congrats.
Thank you.
Let's do one more. Who else has got something going good? I know you guys are doing it. I see the numbers. I'm going to get to it here in a second, but across the board, you guys are doing amazing, and I see it happening. So let's do one more. Who wants to share? Anything? Pop off and share.
I will. Go ahead.
Go, Tracy.
Oh, okay. Hey, everybody. How are you? Good morning. Just wanted to, she really just struck a chord, Nicole. It's all about consistency. And I know we hear it over and over and over, but it's like finding for yourself, just stick to one thing. Just stick to something, continue to do it. I mean, for me, 3, 3, and 3 just hit it home for me, changed my focus, kept me focused, just doing this, it's really this, there's no big secret is what I want to say. There's no big secret. It's just exponential growth by doing the little tiny steps every single day and making that commitment in your heart that you want this, you want to help people, you want to move forward, you want to break through. I mean, sometimes things are really super uncomfortable, but that can't stop you. I mean, it's that commitment that drives that action consistently, no matter how small. It doesn't have to be monumental. It just has to be consistent, which equals monumental. Does that make sense? So it's just that daily. I mean, Tim, I love that. I love just the daily, just make it happen.
I love that, Tracy. And it totally makes sense. I think the chat agrees with you because, you don't know every single day what it adds up to, but like every day of consistency is showing people stuff. It shows you stuff. It builds habit. It's connections, and all those little things add up over time. So mega consistent, Tracy, and congrats on the results of your consistency. So, all right, let's jump in here. It's great to be with you guys this morning. I'm going to share my screen here. And as I'm sharing my screen, let's see here. I'm going to unpin video. Where's everyone tuning in from today? drop it in the chat. I love that we're all over the country at all times. Like, I think it's like really cool. Some of us are like a little bit like waking up right now. Not me. I'm just trying. The rest of Ashley's fighting the flu. Kids are sick. I'm fighting off that. But I looked at the numbers because I wanted to know some things before I spoke today. And you guys are all on fire. And that's what got me really excited to do this like bonus call. So kind of as we go through today, preface, and especially for all of you new coaches that are new here, welcome to the call. Welcome to our community. But we're going to be a little bit unplugged here today. And I got to actually, got to mute someone real quick. There we go. Going to be unplugged today. This call is all about finishing up the month strong because you guys have been doing the action on it. We're going to be moving into another coffee and consistency series next month. We're going to start next week. And if you guys think March was cool, if you thought February was cool, wait till you keep building the momentum into April. A lot of you guys thought I was joking when I was like, hey, you know, because last month we did coffee and consistency. And for those that are new, we go through all the basics of what coaching looks like, how to share, how to do those things that led to Mackenzie, Tracy, Nicole, Sherry, and everyone in the chat. We go over how to become a great coach so you can do all the basics and do it well. That month, a lot of great things happen, but like we talked about, and like Tracy talked about, it's the consistency that pays off. So a lot of you guys are seeing the benefits in this month. So well done. We have 8 days left in the month, so we're going to go into some things that are going to help you finish this month strong. A lot of you guys are newer and don't know a lot of the nuances or know that like all the things that are building up to what you can capitalize in these last few days. And as we're going through, if you have things that are working for you or things that have been breakthrough for you or monumental, please share them in the chat so we can all benefit because, you know, one, we're all doing the exact same thing. We're just doing it in our voice and in our fun way. But anything that's been big for you or basics that you come back to committing to, because that's pretty much what it is for me every single time. I got to catch up on the chat real quick here. Actually, Dawn, you're going to be sharing today. Anything that I should pay attention to in the chat, will you just like double check it for me? I want to make sure I answer any questions that go in here. So that'll be good. I think everyone's just saying where they're tuning in from. Is that right? Yep, that seems to be all there is there. So let's jump in today. This is one of the big ones here. And like, drop me a 1 in the chat if you guys are feeling this right now. Like everyone looks at everyone else and says, oh my gosh, Tracy, why are you so amazing? Or, oh, Lee, like how'd you do all that great stuff? Or Nicole, you're so amazing. How are you so put together in the morning and doing all these great things? And, oh, you're taking care of your finances? Oh man, your life just must be rainbows and butterflies. Everyone learns and grows, and success, there's no overnight success. So I just want to say congrats to you all for investing your time into helping others, learning your craft. You're seeing that it gets easier over time, and kind of like the whole premise of what we cover is the far right squiggly line is really what it looks like when you dive in, work with your support team, get your structure set up. And so you guys are seeing those results. So I just want to say congratulations to that. This month, before we get into the action tips, so actually let me take a pause real quick. Does everyone have your map, your connections list, and a notepad? Because we are going to be going into it today. Lee's got it. Yes, everyone's got it. Mackenzie's got it. Yes, all right. So I love this slide because you guys are like probably either you knew it was true or you're starting to be like, yep, that's what's happening. Like people that are noticing, people are saying things to me. People are coming out of the woodwork that like I didn't even think about. They weren't even on my mind. Shame on me for not thinking big enough. You guys are learning how to see it. And then people that you wrote off maybe are starting to come back now. Or people that are, and Lee's like, so like I think you're coming to the screen because you're like, yep, I've been blown away personally because I've recommitted to a lot of the basics, even my health. I've been blown away by it's so funny because it happens all the time, but it still surprises me. What, like, just like everyone else, I'm doing the 3, 3, and 3 and it's working. I'm going back to the basics and it's working. This is what happens when we build connections and we stay consistent. Each one builds on each other, links you to other people. People are ready to move forward. If you guys stay consistent, you guys are seeing that in your business. And that brings us basically to what we call second January. So to kind of give you like a mindset, like to know like what's possible and like especially what to do with 8 days left in the month, kind of give you a reality of what's going on out there, is we all know that people are ready to do stuff in January, right? Like, I mean, people are ready to take on health all the time. But now is the time where there's a bunch of things going on. I'm trying to explain like all of them really quickly without getting too analytical on it. Is you guys have been consistently sharing, plugging away, leading with your health. You have clients out there walking around, walking billboards that are getting smaller billboards. You have people that are affecting other people that are looking at coaching. You just alone the fact that like people know you're like, because people always think of things as a fad. They're like, oh, that one thing that's not going to work for them very long. And then you keep doing it and it's working. There's people that meant to do something in the new year, didn't do anything. I don't know if you guys know, the flu season's been horrible, obviously. It's got our health again. But people want to feel good. I'm just running through the gambit of like what's going on out there. Not to mention, spring break notifications just came out. Summer's starting to happen. In the Northwest, we just got our first like above 60 degree day. People are starting to realize, oh crud, like I'm going to start wearing clothes that are like I can't cover up with a jacket anymore. This is what's happening out there. And so I say that all to say is Ashley's been starting to do what's called Orange Theory. It's just a fitness class. And speaking of which, always being consistent, her trainer actually was saying like she would never do this program and it's not healthy. She doesn't know anything about nutrition, by the way, just in case you guys are wondering. But her parents got on program, and guess who started program last week? Interesting, right? But that's not really the point. The point is Ashley was in a class, and the first few weren't very full. One of the most recent ones was packed and completely full. And Ashley was like, oh, that's weird. Like, is this a busy day? And she's like, no, it's 2nd January right now. People are starting to realize what's happening. People are starting to realize the sun's coming out, and they are making decisions on their health. So you guys are like really set up well to take on these last few days. So I thought before we get into some tips, and we're just going to basically run down some tips right now to show you how to finish the month. We have a lot of people that are close to executive director, a lot of people that have already hit new highs. Actually, congratulations to Dan and Jill Height, new 3rd month fully qualified global directors. Congrats to Lynette, new executive director, did on the 20th of the month. Nice job. And then also Donna Hunts, new executive director last night, 22nd of the month. Well done. And about 40 people within range of that. That's kind of the premise of this call, but it's also for everyone because the commitment to finishing every month strong, I don't know if you guys realize this, like there's no secrets to success in coaching. And if you're taking my class at Go Global, I'm going to be showing like this in depth. So hopefully you signed up for my class. Sorry, I got off topic there. It's that commitment to finishing the month strong that always makes the difference one step at a time. Actually, like just because I know a lot of you guys know this, like it's nothing special each month. Drop me a 2 in the chat if like finishing the month strong and always just committing to like one extra thing has been the difference maker in your business over time. A lot of 2s. I love it. All right, I'm actually going to turn it over. So like before we get into it, I was going to have a few people share today because I could have so many share. But if you have things in the chat that kind of resonate with you as we go through here, just drop your own tips in the chat. But I was going to bring on Lisa Yeakley on here because new big thinker, you've only been coaching a few months, hit executive director about 3 months ago, and you brought on over, what's the number? How many clients you brought on this month, Lisa? 11?
Yeah, I think. I don't even know.
I know. All right. Share with us a little bit of this because I asked you, I was like, all right, hey, do you want to share some tips? And surprise, surprise, you were like, oh, I'm just doing everything, just the basics. Like, what's been working for you? And what are just some tips you would share as you've been taking on this season and like what you're focusing on as you finish the month?
Well, the first thing I want to tell everyone is don't judge who your coaches are because if you talk to my coach, there was no way I was going to be a coach. No way. I don't have time. I have 4 kids. I own a business. There was just no way that this was going to fit into my life. Then my mom kept asking me what I was doing because finally I had lost some weight. I was the queen of exercise, but never was able to lose weight. And this program, not only did I lose weight, but my joints, my thyroid stuff, so many other things other than the weight came off and helped me in so many components. So that made me 100% believer. Like, wow, okay, this isn't only about weight. I'm a hairdresser, so I'm always making people feel good about the way they look. But a lot of times that's so surface because sometimes they're like, I hate my hair. And I really know that they don't hate their hair. They just hate everything about themselves, about other things in their life. And no matter what I did, you know, it's just like a health assessment. if I can't get to their why in 15 minutes, they're not ready, and I'm not going to sell it. I'm only going to share it, because my thing is, and that's the same with my other career, is that I can't change the way they're feeling. I can make them look better, but this really, really, I felt made me change from the inside out, and I'm not going to cry. So one thing that I did is, once I figured this out with my mom, I was like, oh, okay, well, that'll be fun. I'll help her. Then someone else asked me, okay, that'll be fun. I'll help them. And I really didn't go in it blaze the glory like my coaches that have signed up under me. They're killing it. It's been so fun to see them do it fast, because I like to get stuff done. I have list after list after list. But the biggest thing I did is I leaned into my coaches, and I wanted to know what I could do next. And when I asked them what I could do, they told me, and I did it. And I posted and I talked, and I am nervous as can be right now talking, but I love to talk to people, and I love to tell everybody what I'm doing. And I do kind of have that career where I can tell people that, but also it was just, I feel so strong about it. I can't tell you like how amazing it is. The other thing that has helped me, probably this is where the coaching component came in, is I literally I decorate this thing. Every Coffee and Consistency, I have squares and what happened. And then I have squares on the back of the posts I made and the new people that have reached out to me. Like, what happened? Why did that person reach out to a Curious George post? Or why did that person reach out to one specifically about me? It's interesting to see what kind of tricks people or not tricks them, but gets them to feel it. A thing I learned a long time ago is what I can see, I can manage, and what I can't see manages me. And that is 100% the math. So when I see this and I see that my goal this month was 10,000 frontline volume and 20,000 in group volume, I laughed when I said that to my coaching team of Dan and Jill and Denise, because I was like, I just want to get 20,000, haha. And oh my God, you guys, I am like banging on the door. I'm at 9,000 something and almost 18,000. So it's totally doable if you just do what you are told to do, and stay consistent. I have people that I did health assessments in October, when I was like kind of, okay, I'll help them. And now they're coming back and they're like, Lisa, I need you. I need to do. But I kind of go back and see if I can find their why, because I don't think they could find their why the first health assessment. Part of that was probably my experience and knowing what to do about that. So finding the why, knowing your why, and following your coach, and just being coachable and love people and talk to people. And if you don't believe it, it's hard for people to receive it. I strongly, strongly believe that. And I actually did my former personal trainer yesterday, and she dissed on this program like you can't imagine. And I hadn't told her for a reason. And I could honestly stand up for myself yesterday. Had she done that to me 2 months ago, 3 months ago, I probably would have quit. But that's it. I just can't say enough good things. So I'll shut up.
I think actually you could just keep on talking, Lisa. That was incredible. So many great things. I love it. And I just love your consistency. You radiate health. Let me see. I just wrote down a few things. You work with your map. What was that brilliant saying that you said? What you can see, you can manage, and what you can't see manages you. Did I butcher it, or is that close?
Yep. What you see, you can manage, and what you can't see manages you. It is true in every aspect of your life.
It is 100% true. You work with your support team, super consistent, finding people's whys. And I just love the bulletproof. I mean, you have really committed to just like the daily action and talking to people, and you radiate it. And like, I just love the win on the personal trainer as well. Not that, I don't mean to dig on any personal trainers. We love you guys. You're great. But we'll get more into that later at Next Coffee Consistency on why, if anyone says anything to you, you should stand up strong for this. Casey dropped a little bit of that a few weeks ago, but we'll get into that a little bit more. Well done.
The one thing I want to say about that yesterday, because that really put me in my place and really made me feel bad. And one thing that I think I resonated with her was, what is different from what you're doing and and we talked about women just because it's what we deal with the most. Why do you think that you making a woman feel stronger is any different than what I'm doing, because I have people who won't walk into a store right now. So do you really think they're going to go, the first place they're going to go is to a gym? If I can help them with little basics to lead them, my next component is to introduce them to exercise. And she had to really rethink that. That was a very interesting conversation.
Yeah, good job, Lisa. I love it. So great tips and just doing the basics. And what was cool about this, and that's basically because I just missed you guys. Like I miss our Saturday mornings together. I could have called on a million people today. So I just want to say congratulations to all of you. Many of you, that's your exact same story as well. So I hope you guys are celebrating your own wins. Sometimes they don't seem as incredible to us because we're doing little ones daily, but those are the things right now. So great tips, Lisa. And that's what we're going to move into finishing the month. So, all right, I just want a little confirmation here because I don't like to tell people. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. You cool if we get into some strong finishing the month action steps? Can I get a 1 in the chat if you guys are good to review some hardcore action that will result in lives change just like Lisa? Okay, I think we got a few ones. Okay, so there is 8 days left in the month. And so this is why we did this special call right here. It's a mindset as much as it is learning a rhythm and practice and anything. So for all of you, I'm going to kind of see if I can get this all set up for the whole spectrum here. If you're close to senior coach and you're a newer coach on this call or a brand new senior coach, we want to say welcome. We're glad that you're in our community, and we want you to really shoot for that mark, or congrats on hitting it, because that's a vital place to be to take advantage of the training that we're going to do next month. And we'll talk more about that later. A lot of you, over 40, are close to executive director for the first time. And so that is possible this month. We're going to go over a little bit about why that's important, because I actually had a conversation with someone and they were like, I don't even understand why it's important. And it's like, oh my gosh, you have no idea why it's so important for so many cool reasons. And then just next big marks, because if you, like Nicole, you shared earlier, how you've been able to reach the Big Thinkers Club, have a consistent business with a full-time, really, you have a really important job that you do and it takes a lot of energy out of you. How you've been able to do that is not magic. It's the commitment to finishing the month strong every single month and just doing that little bit of extra. It all adds up. So we're going to go over the top things you can do right now that will help you get there. I'm going to have a few people share on this, but we're going to go on to all the things that will help you get there. So all you need to do this, because basically the premise of it is just ultra simplicity. All you need is a map. And Lisa, I grabbed your map. So I'm glad you showed it, because I grabbed your map because I thought it was really cool. A connections list. It's a beautiful map, by the way. It makes me want to have a cooler map like yours. A connections list and a notepad, because we're going to go over some things that you can literally go take action on today, because we're going to focus on finishing up a little bit early so you guys can go take that action. Let's see here. So this is what I was going to cover with you guys real quick, is why executive director, because a lot of people don't get that. So if you're already beyond this is the kind of health of things with your coaches that they're probably not getting. And if you're close, these are the things that hey, congratulations, that's what the difference is the income. So 5 quick things. The income difference is gigantic. So at manager, associate director, you're making anywhere between $650 to $1,000. That's fantastic. But when you go to executive director, it's probably it's less than half the work, but it's triple the income. Does that make sense? So that's why it's really a good mark to do, because you're going to get paid more. The average income of just a brand new executive director is going to be between $2,000 and $3,000. Most of this is very part-time. It doesn't take much action when you've got the steps put in there. Your compensation is going to grow from 22 to 20 or 22, 27, somewhere in that range, to 31%. You're going to maximize the compensation plan. The reason why they do that is because the people that grow to executive director, they take better care of their clients. They coach well. They're more consistent. So Optavia wants to reward you for that as well. So a lot of people don't get that kind of connection or how close they are to it. Another one that people miss, bigger rolling bonuses. Drop me a 1,000 in the chat if you've earned a $1,000 bonus. A lot of you guys are getting $250, $500 bonuses, because that's what you get when your average of your 3 months is a certain level. $1,000 is way cooler than $250. I don't know about you, but I like the $1,000 more than I like $250. Plus, again, just to kind of, because there's always some coaches that are like, I'm not really care about money. I just want you guys to know that every single month when I see my deposit, not only like does that help me think more abundant, and I think abundance is something that's missing in this country, but I have like, I'm not missing the connection to the people on what that means, just so you know. So every dollar that I earn, I reflect that back to the people that I'm helping, and I hope you guys do the same. It's the number 3 is it's the first big platform for duplicating your business. So that's another one that's big as well. Plus, think about this. The more clients you have, the more referrals that you're going to have. So you have more walking billboards out there as well. So it's like this culminating of momentum effect. And then, of course, you're helping you're helping more people. You're more effective coach. All of those things all together. So is everyone on board with me on that? Like why it's important? So you like know how to help your coaches or where you're going yourself. So that's why. Because a lot of people have asked me this month, and I was actually surprised. I was like, oh man. Good to know. Like I didn't know that people didn't know the reason behind it. So this is where we're going to get into. We're going to get into like literally like, okay, I want to change some lives. What do I do beyond? Okay, I'm being consistent. What should I do? We're going to get into like top 5 tips. But Dawn, I wanted to bring you on because you have become a pro at this. What does it look like? Like what's the mindset of someone that approaches the month around this time of the month that really assist them? Like, what does it look like to go through like Dawn's mind at this time, or the coaches that you're helping that are on fire? Can you come on and share like a little bit of tips for people that are learning this skill set?
Of course, Brad. Hey everyone, good morning. And Brad, what I love too is rewind 8.5 years ago. I was sitting right here, probably on a training much like this at this time of the month, just before I hit executive director for the very first time. Because I didn't know how close I was. And by the way, back then our PowerPoints weren't nearly as pretty as they are now. But it's a decision. And it's also, and so we're not just talking to those of you who are close to executive director, we're talking to everybody who's close to like hitting that next mark, wanting to help those next 3 to 4 people that are on your heart and on your list. But it's a decision. And Brad, I love that you kind of laid out why executive director would be that next step for anyone who's, manager or associate director or above. So I'm going to walk through like what it looks like today for you to kind of figure out where you're at. And you're probably closer than you think, because I was a whole lot closer than I thought. I just didn't realize. So it's knowing where you are and then making that decision. Loved all of the things that Lisa shared. So here's number 1 thing to do, and this is for everybody, every single person listening to this, do these things. So right now, well, maybe not right exactly now, but right after the call, if you haven't done this, check where you're at today. It's March 24th. Where are you at right now? Where's your frontline volume? And one thing that I didn't realize in the beginning was sometimes orders kind of backload towards the end of the month. So you are probably a whole lot closer than you even realize, because there's a lot more Premier orders left to go. So where are you right now? What's your frontline volume? So grab a piece of paper or flip over your map and write that down. And then either right now, go check real quick, or right after this call, go check. And if you see that you are associate director or even manager, you guys are probably 3 to 6 new people away from hitting that executive director mark. And in the beginning, I looked at that and I thought, oh my gosh, manager or almost associate director, oh, that's still so far away. Oh my goodness, maybe next month. No, there's 8 days left in the month, you guys. That's forever. Like in Optavia world, 8 days, right? Brad's smiling. He's like, 3 days is forever. 8 days, you guys, you can do anything in the world. I've seen brand new coaches get started and help enough people to reach executive director in 8 days. So you can literally do anything. And then also, so think for yourself. So we're always put the oxygen mask on you. And then who are the coaches you're working with on your team? How are they doing? Where are they at today? You know the people on your team that have their hands up and they're ready and they're excited, or they were really excited at the beginning of the month. They don't know how close they are. Just like you might not realize how close you are to whatever that next thing is, whatever your next win would be. Whoever the next 3 to 4 people are on your heart, you're closer to helping them than you realize. So check that out. And then number 2, how many Premier orders do you have left to process? Brad did an awesome video that walks you through how to do it. So if you're not quite sure how to do that, don't let not knowing how to do something stop you from doing it. There are never any silly questions. You can never ask your support team too many things. So reach out if you don't know how to do it, but watch the video. It's really simple, but you would be surprised how many orders are set to process this next week. And people are in there right now adjusting. They know Easter's coming. They know they're getting ready to really hit it hard the first part of April. People are upping their orders and bumping them up to this next week right now, this weekend. So check and see how many you have left to process, and then check and see who's set to process maybe the first or the second of next month, and maybe they're not quite full. Brad's going to go over some tips, and Tim and Kelly are going to share some awesome things in a minute with you. But just know, check who's left to process, and then take a peek at the first couple days of the next month. You really want people to be set up for success, and not run out of food, and just really, really, really be ready and have everything they need. And then where do you want to be by the end of the month? So grab your map out, because this is important. Grab your map. What did you put at the beginning of the month? What did you put up here? What were your goals? What did you declare? You said it, and you can do it. And then have you already reached that? Donna Hunt, some of you guys who've already hit executive director, I know you guys had that at the top of your map at the beginning of the month. So now what's next? Because there's 8 days left and you can do anything. So who are the next 3 to 4 people that you're going to help? Where are you going next? What's next on the horizon for you? And what do you need to do to accomplish that? And then who's close to starting? What actions do you need to take, right? You know, we've got 8 days left. There are lots of actions. And actually, Brad, I'm going to kick it back to you because we're going to go over those action steps. But basically, know where you're at right now, know where you declared you wanted to be, and then what's the next step? And not just for you, but the team that you're working with. So Brad, I'll kick it back to you because I know we've got lots of action steps coming up next.
Perfect. I love it. And that's the mindset right there. Dawn, you've changed a lot of lives by approaching a lot of months just like that. So well done. I want to just ask you guys a question because, you know, I didn't just like nod my head while Dawn was doing that. I literally did the steps right there. Did anyone have a feeling when they were like, okay, oh, I'm right here. This is how many I have left to process. I'm going to be here. Where do I want to be by the end of the month? And you like visually saw it. Did anyone see that, get that feeling of like, oh my gosh, more is possible than I thought? My mind started racing, and honestly, just being honest, I forgot 2 people on my list that I should be reaching out to. And it made me think like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot reaching out to them. That's what it's all about right there. And because if you can see it, back to Lisa, if you can see it, what you can see, you can manage, right? So that's a really important thing. Dawn, thank you for breaking that down. This is a skill set of learning this time of month and a flow of the month. So let's dive in to some top things you can do right now. Top 5 things. I just broke it down to 5 things because it literally is that simple, but I got some energy around these. So I hope you guys got your notepads. It's not very much more different than the basics, but hopefully it'll strike a chord and give you guys some ideas. So number 1, this is the most important one. Remember your why. The action is to help others. So just make sure that we don't take action not remembering those things and what you want and why you're doing it. You'll always be more effective if you talk exactly how, like if you look at it the exact way that Lisa talked about earlier. Everything you do is the benefit of helping others. So, you know, sometimes if we're not on our A game, we'll think like, oh, I just, you know, I'm pushing or whatever. It's like, no, you know how good you feel when you're on your A game and you're help. Like, again, just, I stepped up my game earlier this month. I think a lot of you guys saw my post. I was like, I realized that I was living too much in an area of my health that was a good thing, honestly, to celebrate wins, to learn how to manage seasons, to build like regular routine, but I hadn't pushed myself forward in a while. Taking that action step allowed me to have the mindset of knowing what it feels like to invite others to do the same. I got to tell you, I've had at least 5 clients taking their health like to ultra levels that were kind of playing small like I was. So just some really just kind of good mindset stuff to like start off with here. So let's get into actual action stuff here. Number 2 is check your map right now and look at this. Past clients and all of these little things right here. These will be things that you can look at and inspect. And by the way, back to the first number 1, it always assists your clients better when you do this, by the way. Don't get it twisted. It's not for you, it's for them, but the benefit is mutual. Who has small orders that may need more? remember, that's a service. Like, could you imagine getting something like this if you were a client and you didn't know? You're like, hey, just want to see how you're doing. Like, maybe you just ask that, and then the conversation rolls into like, hey, are you doing okay on your fuelings? I just noticed your order was a little bit low, just didn't want you to run out. Like, that's not selfish, it's not for you. We know it sucks to run out of fuelings when you're on fire, so we don't want any of our clients doing that. So you might look there. Who's missing from your mat that should be on it? Like, is there anyone that didn't have an order process that you should reach out to in a caring way? I know I had a few people, and that conversation rolled into someone being on fire on their health. Who possibly pushed their order out that needs it? Like, for you new coaches, a lot of people don't understand when they get their 7-day notice. They're like, oh, I got plenty of food, not realizing how quickly they go through it. Like, who may need to bump that back again so they don't run out of fuels, or needs that reach out for you to like stay partnering with them on their health journey? Are there any past clients you should reach out to as well? 2nd January, they're probably thinking like, oh my gosh, by the way, let me just invite you into some people's mindsets, like really quick. Oh man, I didn't do that great. I'm embarrassed. My coach, like, I'm bothering them. I can't believe it. I'm so embarrassed. I don't want to reach out to them. If you just like in a friendly way, reach out and keep connections, or reach out to offer to help, you'd be surprised how many people are like, oh, thank you. I've been mulling this over and beating myself up forever. Like, anyone here, like any of those scenarios that I went through, can you drop me a 1 in the chat if anyone has realized those or ever had those happen? Yeah, okay, cool. That is a perfect place to start. There's probably like $1,000 of volume right there alone right now, just so you know, heads up. Number 3 is, now we're getting back into action. Who are my top 10 candidates? And let me look at my connections list. So if you're just like me, you were like, oh crud, I need to reach out to that person. I can't believe I left them hanging. Or, oh my gosh, this person's totally gonna get started. So where are your top 10 people at right now? What would assist them in getting started? That's the question you want to ask. You know, Tim and Kelly are going to share in a second here as we kind of wrap up the call. But we were kind of chatting about, like, if we don't stay fresh, just like we don't, like, just like committing back to our health, we'll get an autopilot in our reach outs. The goal is to focus on the person. Back to what Lisa said, their why. Just so you know, a lot of times people don't even know their whys when they got started, or they are squashed whys because they have no idea what is possible, or they're just saying like they've learned to not drink anymore. So it's our job to see what's possible for people. So where are those people at? What would assist them? Let's reach out. Look for reasons for them to start. Look for an invitation, or just back into, I'm getting to this step later, just the 3, 3, and 3, just generic touches with people. So, and just so you know, people love reasons to start. So like, it could be as simple as like, hey, April's coming, or like, seriously, that's kind of my reach out most times. It's like, hey, just was touching base. I know we've talked about things, et cetera, insert personal invitation. April's getting started. I'm working with a handful of people. I just want to check back to see where you're at. I don't know. I'm just giving you an example. People just love reasons to start, because anyone here procrastinate on anything? Most people do. So there's always going to be a next day unless we help them look at what they want and their why and find a reason to start now. You can do an incentive if you want. They're great, but honestly, most people don't need an incentive. They just need a reason to get started. But if you want to do an incentive, that's a bonus one too. And then assume they want this. Some of those wins that I was telling you, by the way, and I know you guys are doing this too, it feels darn good to help someone get on fire. You have to assume they want it and focus on the person to make sure that you can help paint the picture for the match. Help them step into what they want. So if we're not seeing the connection, if we're not thinking on our A game, we're going to start saying things like, oh, they probably don't want to do this. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Now, never assume. Always assume if you're going to assume the best for people. Assume what's possible, and assume like where they can go and awakening their best self. So that's number 3. Is this helpful for you guys? Like, I'm getting some nods. Okay, cool. Number 4, referrals. My favorite thing in the world. Referrals are when I know my clients ain't going backwards, just so you know. When people start telling other people, that's when they're getting more integrated. So your clients know people. They don't live in a cave. So who have been asking them? This is a finesse conversation that you have to find out. Go to all of your clients. And basically, just so you know, all the clients that if we're serving them well, like there should be 1 or 2 at least referrals in there, as long as they're not like hiding from the world. And that's another thing too. If they're hiding from the world, this isn't going to work long term. So all of this, by the way, do you see how this all matches being a really good coach and growing your business at the same time? I hope you guys see that. So remind them of the referral credits. Feel free to double it if you want. Also, referring coaches, those are their first clients. So these are just all different options that you can explore here. I'll get to some other actions here as we wrap up on number 5, but never miss referrals. And I heard this was in my first training I ever went to. Someone stood up and said, they were like, for every one client that has doing really well, I kind of visually expect in my mind at least one referral from them. Because why not? Why, if they're having this much success and I've been able to help this many people, and I know this many people are asking me, there's something missing if we're not getting referrals. There's either a concept or something, again, something's going to help them with their health journey, or there's people just missing out on health in general. So referrals, those are a huge one. And then last one is the most important one. And a lot of you guys are seeing this, but you can up it, is get into action on connections and get into action on Facebook. And I would encourage you to have focused action. So a lot of you guys here, like just a kind of a funny joke here. You guys are commenting on my posts way too much. Why are you even seeing my posts? You guys should be so intentional with your connections that you shouldn't even see mine. I shouldn't even be showing up in your newsfeed. That's a little bit of a joke. Feel free to keep commenting on my stuff. I appreciate everything, and I love seeing you guys comment. But there's so much scrolling going on that we could be spending that scrolling time being focused on who's on our list, who are we going to make sure sees our stuff more, and what am I doing to contribute value to Facebook? So I didn't mean that in a jerky way, so just please don't take that the wrong way. I just thought it was kind of funny. So do the 3, 3, and 3, and especially this time on, do the 10, 10, and 10. Up your activity level so more people see it. Go live. Live ups the algorithm a ton. And even just so you know, most people don't even watch the full lives, but the fact that they see you and that you are live, they get notifications of this. It's more times they see you. And again, they'll be thinking, hey, Lisa done something with her health. I should hit her up. Those are the things that kind of happen with people as they're going through this. Share pictures. People love visuals. Your own story is what affects others, just so you know. People care about the connection with you. They're in relationship with you. So your story is best, not in a braggy way, in a sharing breakthrough kind of way is what speaks to most people. But feel free to use other stories. You're not going to get as much likes or as traction on them, but it's the contrast of your story and others that will give people perspective, just so you know. Like, in case you're wondering, like, oh, I didn't get as many likes or comments on this post. Just know that it's kind of like a jab, 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 knockout punch kind of a deal. Like, someone that may be like a young kid like myself when I got started on Plan may not be able to resonate with, another story or something. But that's why I didn't start on Plan. I thought it was for all my aunts and uncles and my grandparents. I didn't realize it was something that I could do as well. So just think about that with the world of the people you're connecting with. And also, here's the thing too. People respect numbers. Numbers give people confidence. Feel free to say stuff like, I've lost this much weight. I've affected this many lives. I'm looking for many people. Numbers. I'm taking Ty Lopez's social media course right now, and it's blowing my mind on social psychology. And it's just like people resonate with numbers. Numbers prove results. Numbers give people confidence to go places. So feel free to get that going in your posts a little bit more. Most people that start, just so you know, are not even on your radar right now. So that's the other reason why to up this activity. Like, I think Donna, you messaged me. Congrats, Donna, Executive Director. You were like, yeah, I've started that many people. What is it? 8 people, and only 2 of them were even on your radar. And you are diligently doing your 3, 3, and 3. So do all of that stuff, and then just basically be uber intentional connections and focus on setting up that next mark. Think in your mind, what's the trigger point to starting them on their health journey? Like, what's going to get them started? If you can keep that in your mind, all of the stuff I just shared with you will help you be uber productive. So, and then lastly, have clients post your success, or feel free to have supporters share your story. Like, have people share this with them. Other people's edification of you will help other people know that you're a person that get people results. And this is a bonus one. Don't be afraid to let people know confidently that you get results. You're a good health coach. Like, you guys have changed some lives. Feel free to let people know this. So I've rambled enough here. Hopefully these last 5 tips have given you enough ammo to go take action diligently on these last 8 days and focused action. Tim Kelly, you guys are pros at this. Do you want to add anything that I may be missing on here that could be helpful?
Hey, I'll jump in first. Thanks, Brad. I have to tell you, you didn't miss anything. And I wish I was keeping count of how many times I heard the word simple just on today's video, Coffee and Consistency. And you even said ultra simplistic. This is really simple. It's a simple business. Most of the stuff that gets in our way is in our own heads. Everything comes down to actions. It comes down to skills and concepts. And if we're not having the results that we want, it's one of those things. So just connect with your mentorship and get past those things, grow past those, like be obsessed with your taking your health to another level, taking your business to another level. Be obsessed with growing yourself, because that's what this is about. Because the more we grow, the more we get to help people grow as well. And I love what Lisa said about don't prejudge. Don't judge people. Don't make up conversations in your head that are negative. If you're going to make up conversations, make up positive conversations. Make up conversations why the person you're going to reach out to or have a conversation with is going to join you. So you walk into that conversation with the expectation that somebody's going to start their healthy journey, or they're going to want to join you as a coach. So keep it positive and keep it really, really simple.
All right, I'll jump in. There's not much I can follow with all these great tips, but man alive, I'm ready to go. So the only thing, as much as Tim said, it is simple. There are a couple of things that I'm just going to add and hit on one more time. Is one, do not stop. This is like you've got a month left in Optavia time. So set your goal, check out on your map where you want it to be, and maybe set a new goal, because you've got this focused work time to help as many people as you can. And so recalibrate in a good way. Don't bring down your goals to where you're seeing you may end up. Raise that possibility. The top of the map is a desired outcome. And that's not a factual desired outcome. That's the possibilities. So raise that possibility for yourselves. And then, look at your list. I have mine here. I was, looking at my numbers. I've got different colors on the numbers for the team. But here's the thing. That list, though, it's a list of people. So put in your mind, sometimes I even tell our coaches, close your eyes and see this person, because they want what you have. Even if they've said no, or they're just doing that whole, fence sitting dance, they want what you have. And they've stayed in communication with you. And so you've got the goods. And like Brad said, this is good. We have something to share with people that changes their lives. So show up boldly. And lastly, I'll probably have two endings. I'm going to start becoming a preacher like Terry Miller. But you know what? Invite. Don't be hesitant. Ask them to come along. This is their time. And it is the 2nd January of the year. And this is their time. So if you're having a conversation, be bold all the way to the end and say, would you like to get started now so you can feel as good as me and the other people I'm helping feel? Because we want you to have that. So be bold and offer that. Stop the scroll. So I did say a couple of endings. Stop the scroll. And inspect what your expectations are. Like Tim said, we show up and we cheer our team on, that when you're getting on a call, pretend they're already your client. Start coaching them right then. If they're not drinking water, you're going to already bring value. But whatever communication you're having, bring value. Bring value in what we offer. And, weight loss is one, absolutely. But those non-scale victories, the clients that are coming off of meds, those are amazing things to share out in the world. There are so many people that need hope, and then they've tried everything. And sometimes the weight is not even going to attract them. So don't miss some of those kinds of things in your post, and raise your frequency, because this is the time to raise your frequency. But look at everything that's changing for you and for the people you're helping. You don't always have to use it by name. Grab a fun text, take their name out of it, show what's going on in your world, because people, they deserve to have what we have. So I'll leave it with that. It's been a great call. I'm ready to get in action. You guys have reminded me of things and people that I had let fall off my list a little bit too. So that's it. It's just be consistent, enjoy what we have, and just get out there and get into action. I mean, this is an amazing time of year to be an Optavia coach. And just, you can reach these goals. So set the new possibilities as the desired outcome.
Boom, Kelly. I love it. And you just made me think of something else right now. So as we wrap up here today, you guys, we're going to wrap up early so you guys can get into action. 8 days in the month. Next Wednesday, just to additionally give you one more thing to do or a way to awaken, we're going to have another Real Stories of Health call. So that'll be something to invite people to. Be aware of that. We will get more information out that on Monday for your invites for something to do as well. Let's get into action. Just some things I was thinking about here is it'll be helpful for you. Jen Spore said a couple weeks ago that she never forgets how far she's come. She always is deeply thinking about where she was in her health when she started. I think that is something that you can't that's something to never forget about as you're doing this action. Because if you can really connect with how far you've come and make sure you're giving yourself props on that, you'll speak that into other people knowing what's possible for their health, back to understanding people's whys and painting their whys like Lisa was talking about. Massive action at the end of this month, guys. Like Kelly said, it's like a month in this whole Optavia world, like 8 days is an eternity. So massive action. Action cures everything. And if you got my bad joke on my live in the page, action is like a drug. Like you can't get enough of it when you get into it. So get after that action. And I'm not talking about like crazy frantic. I'm talking about like just so much connections that you just crave more of it. And then that stuff leads to other people's breakthrough, and it leads you to making those next levels in your business and accomplishment. It's accomplishments and wins all around. So that's everything I've got for you. Just congrats to everyone here. I could have called on anyone to speak, but I just really respect everyone here coming each week, being around positive people. There's no better place to be on a Saturday morning. And committing to the basics. Like even Kelly said, like, oh, hey, I remembered a few extra things. We're never done learning. Just like the best of the best, practice every single day. I respect you guys for being here and diving in and making our community what it is so we can ripple it out stronger. That's it. Congrats to everyone. We will have coffee and consistency starting next week. So I know it's the day before Easter. We'll be covering some things to be doing with that holiday coming up. It'll be a shorter call on finishing the month strong. Reminder, there's always a calendar. The last day of the month is for enjoying your results and planning the month ahead, not for working till midnight, just so you guys know. That's always the best way to work your business and to help others. So that day, we'll be setting up our focus on the next month and setting up how to help people keep taking their coaching to the next level. If you're close to senior coach or a new senior coach, we invite you to join us for this 6 weeks. Every single time we do it, we have record months, record amount of executive directors, but we teach the things that will help you coach well, just like everything you heard from the people that do it best, because everyone that does it simply, and they all do the exact same simple thing. So with that being said, let's go be in action, my friends. I got some reach outs to go do. Appreciate you all. Loved everything we said. Yeah.
Sorry, for the recording, we just want to make sure to clarify it's March 31st. We all caught it, but the slide says April. We couldn't wait that long. So.
Maybe I should have had more coffee. Denise, thank you. See, so the last plug is work with your support team. Look at that. We're better when we work together. Thank you, Denise. Thanks for proving my point. Or maybe it was planned. I don't know. Maybe it was. No, it wasn't. I did make that error. Anyways, appreciate you all. Congratulations. You're all doing amazing things. So make sure you live in that energy of what you're doing well, and let's take it to the next level and picture where you want to go this month so we can finish the month strong. Talk to you guys later.
Thanks, Brad.
Thank you. I'll add, let your support team know what to see happen so they're in it with you.
100%.
Thank you, Brad.
Thank you guys for everything.
Yeah, we're not waiting till April. Thank you for picking that up, Denise. We would not wait to come back till April. We're coming back next week. So come join us. There'll be tips and information on what to bring, but we're going to focus on finishing the next 8 days strong right now. So go get it, my friends.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Brad.
Bye. Have a good day.
Thank you.